Our meeting will come to order. Good afternoon and welcome. We're so glad to see your smiling faces. And we're glad that you are back and we're glad to be back. So we're going to get started with our meeting.
Madam Chair, I move that we return to open session and adopt certification of closed session.
Second.
Whereas the Dinwiddie County School Board has convened a closed session on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and whereas paragraph 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by the school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Dinwiddie County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only such business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board. Dr. Elaine J. Pearson, District 1.
I certify.
Dwayne G. Walker, District 2.
I certify.
Barbara T. Pittman, District 3.
I certify.
Mary M. Benjamin, District 4.
I certify.
Jason L. Brown II, District 5.
I certify.
All have certified, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I will invite you now to participate in the Pledge of Allegiance. Jake, will you lead the pledge for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, are there any amendments to the agenda?
No, there are no amendments to the agenda, Madam Chair.
I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the agenda as presented. All those in favor use the usual sign.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing no nays, the agenda is adopted. Closed session reports.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the personnel list as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the personnel list as presented. I request a roll call on this motion.
Dr. Elaine J. Pearson,
Aye.
Dwayne G. Walker,
Aye.
Barbara T. Pittman,
Aye.
Jason L. Brown II,
Aye.
Mary M. Benjamin.
Aye. The motion is carried. Recognition and presentations.
Before that, if it would be okay with you, that I can, I'd like to introduce part of a few people from that personnel report. And I put them in alphabetical order. So I'd like first to ask Miss Andrea Sims, please to stand. Andrea Sims has been with us in Dinwiddie County Public Schools since 2009 and has worn many, many hats for us. She's been a math teacher and worked in many areas in the math department, been the math chair for a number of years. You probably know her best at football games. She's either out there with the band or with the dancers or behind there getting you a Chick-fil-A or a burger, always willing to roll her sleeves up. She's also been the mastermind behind our graduation for a number of years and its success. But we're very, very excited that her new role will be assistant principal starting in January at the high school. She has a degree in mathematics from Virginia State University, and she was part of our William and Mary administrative cohort and received that degree a couple of years ago. And we're just so thrilled that she's agreed to take on this new role as assistant principal at the high school in January. So thank you so much. Okay. The second person I'd like to introduce is Linwood Swan. We can have you stand, please, sir. Mr. Swan's been with us a shorter period of time, but I feel like he's been here forever. He's really quickly acclimated himself to the team and our young people at the high school. He is currently an English teacher at the high school, so I know we're pulling out an English teacher and a math teacher, so that's, but just I always look at it like you're going to be now a teacher of grown people, so that's even better. Like me, he started in a community college. My first degree was from a community college, so I admire that. He also has a bachelor's degree in administration with a concentration in project management. And then he is finishing up his ed leadership degree currently, and we'll finish that up in the spring. And as soon as we get him to be finished, he will transition into his new role at the high school as an assistant principal as well. He's been a English language arts teacher. Currently, he's an English teacher for us, but he worked in Brunswick County prior to coming here. I always say that Brunswick, that seems to be our recruiting field. We do tend to get a lot of people from there. We've been very fortunate in that regard. He also worked he's worked as a language arts teacher in North Carolina for a while, and he was a gifted and talented teacher also as well. And so we're so thrilled that he's going to be joining us as the assistant principal at the high school. So congratulations to you, sir. We have one more, and we'd like Mr. Kevin Walker, please, if you would stand. Mr. Walker is, oh, you know what I didn't write on here? Class of what?
98.
1998, class of 1998. We always love when we have Dinwiddie graduates that are able to come back and serve their community. So Mr. Walker really is home. We welcome him back home here. When I read your resume, I just felt very fortunate that we were able to tap you, and we want to keep this a secret that he's here because we know that people like him are hard to come by. And so I've said, don't tell anybody that what background that he has. So we were able to, he's been most recently working at Virginia State University and doing a lot of work with their managing of grants and contracts over there. He's still teaching over there, I believe, as an adjunct professor. So he's continuing that. Prior to that, he worked in Maryland for a while. He actually was a math teacher. That was very interesting to me. And he worked at Lockheed Martin when it was called Lockheed Martin. He was served as a financial analyst. He also was like a budget analyst. He did a lot of things with money that very, very impressive. And so he brings a plethora of experience to us. He has a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Management from Virginia State University. And during his time with Lockheed Martin, Ms. Benjamin loves when we get people from Virginia State too. So that's a double. He's Dinwiddie and Virginia State. So that's awesome. When he was with Lockheed Martin, he received team awards and a service recognition award. And we've seen that in his time here, a short period of time here, we've seen that that part of his character as well. So we're very excited. So we welcome him. He is now the coordinator of finance and grants here for Dinwiddie County Public Schools. And we just feel like there's a very bright future ahead for him here in Dinwiddie County. So welcome. And before we move on to the next recognition, I know that there's a number of their families that are here with them this evening. So if it would just give us a couple more minutes. Ms. Sims, would you like to introduce your family to us that you have here with us?
Sure. It may take a while.
I mean, that's good. That's a good problem to have.
I have my husband, Carl, of 33 years here, almost
Wow.
33 years. My daughter, Valerie, and her husband, Joey Kelly. I've got 6 of my 7 grandchildren here.
Aww.
Eliza, who's in 5th grade at Midway. Lady Kate, she is in 6th grade. She's homeschooled, but they're out in William and Mary.
Mhm.
Or not William and Mary, sorry. Williamsburg, sorry. Layla is in 3rd grade at Midway. And then I've got my 1st grader, Pippa, her sister, Posey, who's 4, and
Aw.
Cooper is 2. And then I have my dear friends, Chuck and Beth Johnson, and Rhonda and James Custer, who are also fantastic travel agents.
Mhm.
And then I also have my extra daughter, Ashley,
Aw.
who is here as well. So,
Wow. Look, they're excited. Thank you so much, and thank you all for sharing her with us, because we know that this is bigger than just one person, and it takes a family to support these individuals at home as well. All right, Mr. Swan, do you have anyone that you'd like to introduce to us this evening?
I do. Good afternoon.
Good
everyone.
afternoon.
I am so happy to have with me today my mom, Jerry Swan. She is actually a former educator from right here in Dinwiddie County.
Oh, wow.
She spent many years teaching here, so all of this kind of comes full circle for me.
Bless you.
My baby sister, Dr. Karen Swan, she's principal out in Williamsburg and Laurel Lane Elementary
Oh,
School.
okay.
And so we're glad to have her. And then we have my pastor here, Dr. Curtis L. Thomas.
Oh, that's
who's
wonderful.
here visiting with us today. So I'm
That's
just
wonderful.
very grateful to have them here in this.
Well, wonderful. You obviously have it in your blood then. It was destined to be, right? That's right. That's right. We're so happy to have you as well. Thank you all so much for being here. Finally, Mr. Walker, would you like to introduce us to us this evening? Or maybe reintroduce to us this evening?
All right, good evening, everyone. So I have my right, my left, my back, front. This Dr. Joy Walker, as you all know her as
Mhm.
principal at Dinwiddie Middle School. I have my daughter, Lindsay Walker, and I have my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, Charlie and Edna Brown, and I have my grandfather, 95 years old.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Herbert Anderson.
Oh, that's he's like a legend around here. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah, I was surprised to see him out.
that's
he's
amazing.
under the
Like
weather.
everybody knows him,
And
right?
I know
Yep.
we gotta hurry up and get him back.
No.
I'm pretty sure his daughters
Yes.
I don't know how he snuck out by himself.
Oh,
He happened to
that's
get out.
amazing. Wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you all so much because we do believe that this is about a family. You bring the family with you when you come to work, and we're just so blessed to have you all say yes to Dinwiddie County Public Schools. And we're going to take very good care of you so that you have a long career here with us. So thank you so much. And thank you for those of you that support them as well. So please congratulate them.
Would you like to do this thing? We can take pictures, or we're going on to the rest of the recognition.
We'll do that at the break.
We'll do the rest of the recognition.
After the, yes, ma'am.
Okay, we have recognitions and presentations.
Yep.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I am here to introduce two special students that we have. First, our returning student representative, Jake Everett. Jake is now in the 12th grade at Dinwiddie High School. This is his second year serving as our student rep. His future goals, he wants to attend a 4-year college. He wants to major in agribusiness, and he is currently a member of National Honor Society and FFA. All right.
Awesome.
And our newest member is Miss Janice Green. Janice plays soccer and basketball. She's been on the varsity team since 9th grade. Last year, she was a co-captain. She's currently an 11th grader at Dinwiddie High School. Her parents are Sherelle and Desmond Green, and her future goals are to attend Howard University to study medicine. Her favorite subject is American Sign Language, Dr. Black.
Oh, that's
Yes,
awesome.
yes, yes,
Wonderful.
yes,
Well,
yes.
thank you.
All right. And Dr. Weston, I'm going to turn the honor over to you
Okay.
to spotlight another special young lady.
Join me, Ms. Benjamin. I want you all to meet somebody really special. Chloe, will you come up here? You're going to need to remember her face. This young lady, this is Chloe Martin. Chloe is, are you in fourth grade? Oh, excuse me, fourth grade. Chloe's in 4th grade at Southside Elementary School. And over the course of the past year, first of all, she sang for us when we brought all of the school systems from the entire region together at the high school. And she sang the national anthem there for us, right? Standing ovation. If she can sing. I think it's more she can sing. I think that's what I'm saying. And then over the summer, she did such an amazing job that she was invited by the state Virginia School Board Association to come and sing at their convention this summer. And she did an amazing job there, and that's the pictures that you see there. She stood in front of, these were all school board members and superintendents from across the state. I just felt like it was so important that I wanted you all to see her. I said we weren't going to put her on the spot and make her sing today. I do know where she gets it because I've been able to now hear her mother sing, so I think it's a family thing. I have her dad Her voice is unbelievable, and the fact that she's so young and her voice is still being, she's still training her voice, right? But when she sings, it sounds so mature and beautiful, and I think she's been on Facebook before, for those of you, she's a swimmer, and I think she's sung at some of her meets and things like that. But we wanted to recognize her tonight and make sure that you saw her face and you remember her name, because Chloe Martin is going to do amazing things in this world, and we're so very proud of her. Thank you. And she's here with her parents, Mr. and Miss Martin are here, and her sister, who's her biggest cheerleader and always shows up to all of her events as well. Do you sing? Sure. We have her grandparents also here as well.
Dr. Weston, next we'll have Ms. Stephanie to come up for student recognitions. Ms. Stephanie is our general registrar right next door, so she has some special recognitions she would like to share.
Good afternoon, board members, Dr. Weston, student representatives. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes of your time to recognize some more talent from Dinwiddie County. We had a first-time voter sticker contest earlier in the year, and we had 16 submissions. All of them were excellent, and thank goodness I wasn't charged with picking between the winners. So my electoral board chose their top 3, and we put it out on Facebook for our citizens to pick the winner. And the winner of the 2025 first-time voter sticker is Alexis Davis, and she's here with us. So Ms. Davis, her sticker is shown on the screen there, and I believe you all have a copy of it. Anybody who comes and indicates that they are a first-time voter in Dinwiddie County will be a recipient of that sticker.
That's awesome.
For years to come.
Wow.
Yes. And she is an 8th grader at Dinwiddie Middle School. Next, we have Summer Edwards. Here, she's in the back. In 2023, we held our first I Voted sticker contest, and we had 30 submissions for that, 3 from the same family. And it was a tight race between the top 3, and Summer lost out to her big brother, barely, but she redeemed herself, because when we saw this, we said, you know what, when we have our governor's race, which is this year, this is a perfect sticker for Virginia. So we decided, and thank goodness she agreed, that we would use this sticker this year for our 2025 I Voted sticker for Dinwiddie County. So this will be handed out to all voters.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, a consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the expenditure reports as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we accept the consent expenditure, wait a minute, the consent agenda, expenditure report. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. We're gonna take a quick break now. I'm going ahead of myself, so you may go out and take pictures. And we thank you so much for coming and for loaning us and lending us your mom, your grandmom, and fathers and sons, and just letting us use your family. We thank you so much. And Reverend Anderson, I have to say, I'm so glad to see you. Yes, so glad to see you. So you may take a break. to re-adjourn and continue with our meeting.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the minutes from August 12th and August 26th of this year as they have been presented to us.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we approve the minutes of August 12th, 2025 and August 26th, 2025. All those in favor use the usual sign. Aye. No opposed. The minutes are approved. Board matters?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Benjamin, you received a copy of the policies the last time that we were together. The majority of these policies had to do with updates to the Virginia Code, and there was some language changed in there. So we're asking for approval of the policies as they were presented to you last month.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the policy updates as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we accept the policy updates as presented. All those in favor use the usual sign.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing no nays, the policy updates are approved. Cardiac emergency response plan.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm going to do a little more reading on this one because I want to make sure we get it right. This was in July of 2025, the General Assembly updated the Code of Virginia, Section 22.1-271.9, to include language that required each public elementary and secondary school to develop and implement a cardiac emergency response plan. And in addition, they tasked us with, after getting a plan together, we need to also conduct at least one per year cardiac emergency drill. So this is our first step. What I've done is I've put together a plan that I believe Ms. Rainey shared with you maybe a week and a half ago. And this plan, pending your approval, will be basically be the blueprint for each school. And and Mr. Garnes doesn't know, but I'll be getting with him. And we'll be getting with him and the nurses at each school and starting to get these teams together and get these plans in place so we can have these drills, because it is very important. I did want to go over the actual plan, just if we could. Beth, do you have that you could put? Okay. It's pretty standard. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I know you've had a chance to look at it, but I'm going to just mention some highlights. The direct purpose of this plan is to ensure a rapid, coordinated response to cardiac emergencies with emphasis on sudden cardiac arrest. This plan does apply to anyone in the building at any time, whether it be at sporting events, during school, staff, anyone that's in our building at any time, this plan will apply to them. I thought it was interesting that the American Heart Association defines sudden cardiac arrest as a sudden and unexpected loss of heart function where the heart stops beating due to irregular heart rhythm with someone who may or may not have been pre-diagnosed with a heart condition. If you've been following the news over the last 5 to 10 years, there have been seemed like a lot of athletes that have fallen from sudden cardiac arrest, and they had no previous indication whatsoever that they had any kind of heart issues. And without immediate treatment, the person may lose consciousness, collapse, and death. So that's why it's important that we get these plans in place and these teams in place so we can give as immediate treatment as possible. All of our members on the cardiac emergency response team at each school will be CPR AED certified. We have, right now, the state of Virginia requires our students to get basic CPR between 9th and 12th grade during PE class. It's a very basic overview, but it's enough to keep someone alive while they wait for the medical emergency professionals. And we will have a minimum of 1 cardiac emergency drill per school year at each school. Also in the plan, there'll be the locations of the AEDs. There'll be the written location, and there'll be a map with the location so that if they're like me and maybe most people in emergencies, people tend not to think as well as they do in non-emergencies. So it's easy just it's right there. Here's where it is, go get it. So you don't have to remember where it is. We're gonna also have a protocol for our cardiac emergency response. We're going to talk about the signs of sudden cardiac emergency, unresponsiveness, labored or no breathing, convulsing, things of that nature. The first staff to observe an unresponsive person is going to designate the next staff they see to call 911. That same staff member is also going to send the next person they see to get an AED, and then they're going to activate the cardiac emergency response team. We have in here the exact language that we'll use when we get on the radio. There is a cardiac emergency in specific location of the building, and either 911 has been called or 911 needs to be called, whichever is appropriate. School administration will automatically put the school on hold using our standard response protocol. That language will be hold in your room or area for a medical emergency, clear the halls, instruction may continue. Again, we want to make sure we use this specific language so that there's no confusion as to what's actually going on in the school. And then the CERT members or the cardiac emergency response team members will report to the location so that they can begin dealing with the incident. After each incident, we will hot wash or do a post-incident response, which means we'll make sure the appropriate people, whether it be parents, whether it be guardians or significant others, have been contacted. We'll debrief with the CERT team. We'll make sure we offer counseling to any affected individuals, and we'll review and revise our response and how we did. And then each year we'll do the same on a holistic basis. We'll make sure that we're looking at our plan to make sure it's being implemented appropriately. The next pages are just an example of what it will be. We use our collaborative response graphics to mark where the AEDs are in each building, and they'll be there for people to see, and they'll be posted at the AEDs. The last couple pages deal with a quick reminder of how to immediately recognize and respond to cardiac emergency. It's not going to be sideways, it'll be posted, right ways, but how to respond to these things. And then the last page is a refresher on the standard response protocol. And then obviously we give credit to where we got all this information. This was something that was not real easy to put together. There was guidance from the state to get it done, but there wasn't a whole lot of guidance on how to do it. I did reach out to a number of other communities who either hadn't heard of they had to do it or hadn't even started it. So we kind of started from scratch here. So that's why I wanted to get it in front of you. I wanted to make sure you had a chance to look at it so we can make sure we get it right. It is going to be fluid. We are going to change it, I'm sure. The first time we have any kind of emergency, I hope we never do, but if we do, we'll have to change it, I'm sure, because there'll be something that we missed. But we tried to keep it as much of the information as we could possibly put together. But we do need to get it started so that we can have a basis to start from. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about this.
Mr. Walters, is this?
Yes, sir.
This it's obviously cardiac. Do we have a protocol for all medical emergencies?
We do.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is I appreciate what you've done here with the announcement, and I'm scrolling to try to find it, where the administration would say something along the lines of hold, clear the hallway, continue instruction for a medical emergency.
Yeah.
I am aware of situations in the past where it wasn't clear what the hold was for.
Yep.
And so there was confusion with parents and students about was there
somebody in our school?
Was there a gun in the school
Yeah,
or something
absolutely.
like that? So does that apply for all medical
does.
emergencies now? Okay, good.
The second to last page is our standard response protocol. And if you see, it gives scenarios. We use the word hold for medical emergencies or things where we're going to continue instruction. We secure the building if there's a threat outside.
Okay.
We only use the word lockdown if there is an intruder in our building.
Okay.
There's no more medical lockdown and things like that.
Gotcha.
And then evacuate and shelter. That protocol is very specific, and it's very the language is very specific to what you say, so that there's no confusion.
Gotcha.
Because the last thing we need if there's a medical emergency is parents calling wondering if there's somebody in our building.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the reason for the standard
good.
response protocol.
I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I have a question, and I ought to know the answer to this, and I don't. Do we know how many times one unit will shock an adult?
I believe once you use one unit, if there's a nurse in here, I think you have to replace the pads, but I think you can recharge it, but I think you have to replace the pads.
And the reason I'm asking that is some years ago, we had a teacher to go down in a basketball game, and more than one unit was needed.
Mm-hmm.
So
you mean in one incident, not after? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think once you put the pads on, it will tell you shock, stand back shock, and then it'll give you directions to either continue CPR or shock again. I mean, the unit leads that. I think it lasts through the whole incident. I'm not sure how many times exactly it'll do.
Yeah, and I think, and the only reason I say this because I think we had one at church, and it said that it would do it twice on an adult.
Okay.
It depends on the brand.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or somebody might know the answer to that, but whoever was in charge that time wisely sent for a second one.
Yeah.
While they were working on him. So, I mean, that's just something to put in their mind that you might need a second AED.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it's an adult.
Yeah, and my hope is that during any incident, the one of the first people that's going to show up is the nurse, the medical professional in the school. You know,
And that's who did it.
yeah, that's who you need on hand. And then obviously when EMT gets there, they take over.
Right.
So, but that's something to look at. We definitely need, maybe it's something we just put a sticker on there, this will do. So you don't have to look for it. It's right there.
How many times it was.
Yeah, absolutely. And technology is improving constantly. So
Yeah, they may be more than two now.
Yeah.
Do we have a AED that goes with groups like on trips?
Yes, sir.
We do.
Yes, sir. We well, when our varsity athletics here at home, our trainer is our AED. He carries one. We made sure we got to-go bags with AEDs and basic medical supplies for our middle school teams. They're the most vulnerable right now because our trainer does not go with them. So each coach has a red bag they carry. But here at home, we do have that. And when they go on trips, if a team goes on a trip where the trainer's not going with them, the first thing that coach does is make contact with the other trainer at the school so that they know where the medical emergency stuff is. Yeah. That's a great point because the middle school was very vulnerable for a while, just based on the fact that they're going oftentimes to the sports complex that's not being used that day. So we need to make sure we take care of that. So we did. And Mr. Gunn has been working with the coaches to make sure that those things get taken.
I have a question. Can you repeat what the expectation was for knowing the location of the AEDs? I know you mentioned it could be listed, there's a map. But I think you said something about it not being needed to, someone needing to remember the locations. And
Well, that was our goal with putting that in there and being very direct. When we drill, we'll talk about the locations of the AEDs. We'll make sure we look and see where they are. But the big thing is you don't want to have to say, now, where was that AED? Was it on this hallway? Was it on that hallway? We want to be able to look at the information and see it's on the math hallway, or it's in the pamphlet section, or it's near the nurse's office. That to me it gives someone a better chance of finding it quickly than having to look for it. Everybody knows, most adults know where the nurse is, or they know where the gym is. So they're running to a place looking for it instead of running, now where was it again? I don't want them having to think like that. So that was the reason for that.
okay. Yeah, I think I may have misunderstood the initial wording because I was afraid that someone may depend on the reference map and not know where they are. Because there may be an AED in this building, but I wouldn't know where it is.
Yes, sir.
If I had to run to an office to reference that, that's time being wasted where someone could have died.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the drill. When we do the drill, the CERT team, most, the high school is going to have the most, obviously they have the most people, but all members will know where they are so that on the way, if they run by one, they're grabbing it. That's just going to be our standard. If you run by one on the way to the incident, you grab the AED. Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions? I thank you all for the questions. They're very valid questions. And I'm glad to see us have something at the start of the school year. That at least we have something, like you said, we hope we don't have any incidents, but if something happens, we always know it's something else we need to add.
Absolutely.
But I'm happy that we have something to start with in the beginning of the school year. So I guess we need to entertain a motion for
Yes,
that.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the cardiac emergency response plan as presented.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we accept the cardiac emergency response plan as presented. All of those in favor use the usual sign. Aye. The ayes have it. It's approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Website platform.
Greetings.
Greetings.
And Dr. Weston. We're seeking a board approval to award contract to Parent Square. And and Parent Square is award-winning communication platform trusted by over 20 million educators and families nationwide for meaningful engagement that supports students' success. Another thing I want to talk about is just switching over. Parent Square replaces legacy systems with personalized messaging, websites, forms, and payment methods, and more built together in one easy-to-use platform. See, right now we have a lot of different programs that work that try to take care of a lot of things. We got calling programs. The teachers use different programs. We want to get a unified platform that does all these things together, that works seamlessly between each other. Going on is Parent Square. Four of the key things that it deals with is mass notification, and that broadcasts messages through all these different methods: emails, webs, voice, and text, and all that. And classroom communication, number two, where they teacher communication with parents and things like that. And school services like send documents and surveys, and also school website that gives us a chance to put our brand, our certain look that we really want, and I think that's important for everybody. And as we went through and looked at Parent Square, these were the school divisions that in our area that's using Parent Square, and there's a nice healthy list there. A lot of schools are, and as we go on with that list, we'll talk about a few things and we'll move on.
Not a problem. So the new platform, or Parent Square, which will be our vendor, will provide us with a new website look. And so that new website look will center more around graphics. It will have text, but it won't be as text heavy as our current website is now. The highlights of this feature is it will allow us to use one platform to send out a message to all of the platforms. So currently, when it snows, we actually have to type the message on 4 different platforms. This way, it will shoot it out to text, email, app, voice messaging, and everything all at one time. It also will allow us for an automatic 2-way translation, which will have more opportunities to have more languages provided for us. In regards to currently, we use Google Translate, and so this new platform will offer over 100 different types of languages. It also will allow us to have contact verification. It will use a correction tool that currently will align us with compliance in regards to photographs used, so that those who are visually impaired will be able to see it, wouldn't have a problem reading it. And so also this new platform will have built-in signups, built-in forms. It will allow parents to set up appointments for like parent-teacher conference if we want to entertain that platform. It also will work with our attendance group, e-signature, and one of the most requested things that we were considering was secure document delivery, and by that, it will deliver the SOL scores to the parents directly via email. Okay, this new platform will allow us to have an app, a phone app, which will allow us to have urgent notification right at the palm of the hand instead of them having to go search in different places. It will allow them to see the menu. It'll allow them to see up to the date minute on sports scores and things of that nature. It also will allow us a capability to be able to accept payments online. So for instance, if our foundation wants to have a big signature event and they wanted to sell tickets, instead of us using a third-party vendor, we can actually do it on our own website. And it also allows us to have groups as well. And with those groups, people in our community that may not have students in our school system, but want to know what's going on or want to know about basketball or football, we can formulate small groups to be able to keep in contact with them as well. So there's a lot of new features with this new website opportunity that we are proposing to you as well. You want to share? And then I'll come back with some things.
Yeah. And so of that group of those groups of school divisions that's near us, these ones, we actually called and talked to a representative from those school divisions who had it and see what they thought. And they all, like Henrico, Hopewell, and Prince George are the ones we called, and they all loved it. They described what they've been doing with it, and they said their parents and students, everyone loved it. So that was just gave us more incentive that this is a product that we need to add to Dinwiddie Public Schools.
And some of the other school systems are phasing their process in regards to Petersburg currently uses it, but they use it more on the communication side. So Blackboard, so the email, the all call purpose, and then they may transition to website. Hopewell, when we talk to them, they actually utilize the whole full package. And that's what our intention is, to embrace the full package.
And at this time, they gave us a mock site. We're gonna I'll let y'all take a quick look at that. They just kind of gave us something to take a look at. And I thought it was interesting as something just give us the idea of what they can do for us.
So currently, when a parent wants to view, they really have to scroll to the bottom of the main page to get current news, and this layout is actually in the middle. As you see, the apps are up front, the upcoming events are more closer to the top, where they won't have to scroll all the way to the bottom to be able to see things. We can actually cater it to what type of icons we would like to have, as well as the icons on the phone app also.
At this time, we're entertaining some questions that we want to have.
Is the parent portal part of this as far as the grading system?
Yes.
It is. So
We have a parent portal already with Infinite Campus, so
Right.
they can utilize that. But I'm getting to the point that by this, Infinite Campus works along with this. The information will be transferred from that program to another seamlessly.
okay. Well, would
It
that
works with a
require
lot of our
retraining
other
parents or giving them a different login?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. So we had talked about the phase-in cycle, and so if approved, the vendor said that we can kind of get things started, but that is not our intention. Our intention is not to launch the app or the website until January, but it's going to still allow us to be able to have both sites available. So we'll be working on the back end on the new website, and then we'll roll things out in phases. But starting January 1 will be when we will actually roll out the website phase. Once approved, well, the process will take about 3 months to 90 days for everything. I have been working with the departments, each department this summer, to clean up their pages, to make sure that their PDFs are working, to make sure that their links are working. So that way, once we get the green light, we can start transitioning things over. We are about 90% complete in those updates. We have a couple of more departments that we need to meet with to finish things up, but the vendor actually promised us that it would be a smooth transition, and it'll also make sure that we are 95% compliant, more than what we are currently now. We currently have 300 pages on our website, and so we do need to do some cleanup and some transition as well. If we phase this out or get the green light, phase 1 will consist of ITRTs being trained. The accountability team, members of the accountability team has been on this review board, but the whole accountability team will be in the phase 1 along with myself and all the ITRTs. We'll also have a small group formed of parents, of teachers who would like to be in a pilot group to work with two-way communication. So that's another feature that I did not highlight, but that is a two-way communication in which a teacher could call home, talk to a parent. There's a transcript that is provided. So there's some document that can be reviewed based on what was said and what was not said. And so that's another feature in this package as well. And so we'll have a small group that will pilot that until we get ready to launch that also.
So parents can send messages to teachers. It's another place that teachers are going to have to monitor and
So,
Are we giving them more?
So ultimately, the goal is to get rid of like Remind, their use of Remind and other platforms, but it won't be in the initial launch. We know it's going to take some time. And after talking with Dr. Weston, we figured that piece will not roll out until fall of next school year. But we do want the small pilot group to kind of test it out.
And some of those programs like Remind that some of the teachers use, like she said, there's no recording feature. So, yeah, there's no way to determine who said what. And this way there's a record. Somebody could go back and look at it and of what was agreed to. And so it really helps everybody, keeps everything organized and in line. The other thing I wanted to mention is that one of the things I discussed with the other school divisions was their conversion. How did their conversion with the data from off their website? And they all said, you know, the ones they all said was smooth conversion. So they were happy with that also, the whole process.
I have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
Just first of all, I want to say I'm really glad to see this happening because I visit our DCPS website quite frequently now, and functionally I think it's good, but aesthetically it's awful. It's just my personal opinion. And sometimes the aesthetics gets in the way of the functionality of the site. So I'm really thrilled to see this happening. There's a number of things in the presentation, just for the sake of clarity. Ms. Pittman already asked a question that I was, so a lot of my own kids' teachers have used this Class Dojo.
Yeah.
This would eliminate the need for that. I'm curious,
Yes, sir.
who has covered the cost of Class Dojo? Have our teachers been covering that cost so they have some sort of subscription through the school
And
system?
some of it is free. Some of the platforms are free.
Okay, so the advantage to Class Dojo is that, for example, the teachers could give us updates on what's happened in the class during the day. It's very personal. I really appreciate it. This would allow that on a individual class. Okay, that's really cool. The next question I have, you mentioned as far as like broadcast, mass notification.
Yes.
Unfortunately, my experience has led me to believe that most of our parents in our community engage with us through social media more than anything. They're waiting to see on social media if school is canceled or what happened at the school today as far as that emergency that they heard about. Does this interact with social media? Like,
Yes, so
it does.
that's what I was saying. There's one message that is put into the system and it shoots it out to all of the
even to
platforms.
Facebook and-
Even to
Yeah.
Facebook,
Okay,
to
wow.
Instagram and all. So can you imagine
That's
on
good.
a winter day when I'm at home, I'm like on
That's
this
good.
screen, on that screen, because it definitely
Good.
does not serve the purpose of our current website that it sends the message out at one time.
So the other thing, we have our DCPS website right now.
Yes.
And my experience has been, we have individual sites for each school.
Yes.
Some of them are better than others, but again, in my opinion, none of them are really great. Unfortunately, I don't know that that's anybody's fault, but does this cover all of those
Yes.
individual sites as well?
Yes.
Okay.
As well
That's
as our
good.
intranet for our staff.
Right. And then
So
does,
this will have a separate site for each school?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
That's one of the apps or one of the spots in this one?
Yes.
The schools still make their own, or the schools?
They're
technology
RTRT.
team
Yes, ma'am.
good.
So
And
basically
link it to
everybody,
this one?
Yes,
yeah,
ma'am.
all of them basically will end up having new sites, new websites, all the schools.
And then the last question I have is just I think it's the one you have to ask is, does Parent Square offer securities for this? Like,
Yeah.
so we don't have to worry about getting hacked or
Well,
data
I
leaks?
don't ever want to throw that out, never worry about
Right,
it.
well, I understand,
But
yeah.
they have security.
They do
Yes,
offer
yes,
securities
they
with
do.
their, okay. I think this is great. I'll make the motion now if no one else wants.
Well, the other question I
Yes,
just have is that, so, teachers will have to check still the emails and
Yes.
this site for messages from parents. Or what else do they have to check?
Well, that piece, in regards to the communication, the two-way communication, we're not gonna start until fall semester per Dr. Weston, because she wanted teachers to have time to be able to go through the training that they need. So that phase will not roll out January 2026. It will just be the website portion right now.
And
I'm not so worried about what they send out. I'm worried about how many places parents can access to
Correct.
send Mrs. Smith a message, and Mrs. Smith's got to check
Yes, but that
5
two-way,
places.
that
Yeah.
two-way communication will be cut off until the fall part of next
And I
year.
think, and what I would like to see is, right now we use so many different platforms.
Right.
These teachers using this one, this, I would like us to get parents
To do one.
where they're using one.
Yeah.
And the teachers know that it's not gonna come in my inbox. My inbox is gonna be reserved for my professional, my life, my work as a teacher. What they're gonna use is this site in order to communicate with the teacher
Yeah,
directly.
that's my concern.
Yeah, and I think they
Because
would,
all of that will be documented.
I think they, over time, they'll definitely appreciate having a documented like that. Something to look back on for then and future and when decisions made.
How is the cost comparison to this new platform different than the one we're presently using?
The first platform we had with Juicebox, it was, I don't remember the exact figure, it was about 50,000 when we first started off. It always starts off high and then it goes down. So I think over time, it's gonna even out. But we're getting, it initially, this is gonna, cost more because it's giving us more. But what's gonna help us is we can eliminate some programs we have now. Like, for instance, we have a calling program right now that we use to call, when snow or whatever. This is built in that program, so that program that we have making those
That'll be a
calls.
savings.
we
So
can
we're really
save it.
looking here for efficiency.
Yes, yes, and all this stuff will
Temporarily, you'll have to
work in-
run both.
Yes,
That's
for-
right.
For a little while, yes,
We built that into the budget.
yes.
I just had a question
Yes,
about
sir.
the language accessibility. So are we pretty set up to make sure that, like our families with English learners don't have too much of a transition period? I don't want them to start getting things in English or, something that's outside of language use.
Well,
only.
The old site will continue to run until we're ready to
Right.
launch the new site. So they won't have any missing services in regards to that.
Okay.
And
But
when we-
at-home communications and
Correct.
everything will
Will still be the
seamless?
same.
Okay.
Yeah, like she says, both sites will be up at once, but the public won't be able to see the second site until it's finished and we actually push it out. But it'd be people like us working on it, making sure it's correct. So all the stuff that people getting now on the current site, they'll be still getting that while we getting the new site ready for, deployment.
I think you're also gonna find with the ill population that, as some of these larger school districts, that was a challenge for them and they're using Parent Square. I think we're gonna find that we have more languages that were accessible to us now with this new site.
Yeah, I know of
Yeah.
at least one school district that has a considerable
Yes.
EL population. They use Parent Square.
Yes. We'd be happy to bring it back once they finish building it, so you can see it before we actually roll it out, so you can see the whole site. I'm just really excited about the parts where, if I wanna look at, about employment, you just click on that button, it takes me to employment. I don't have to find human resources, then go down the page, and I think that's speaking to what you were talking about earlier, that it's the big things that parents typically wanna look at. They wanna look at athletics. If we choose to make that one, you click right on athletics. So we pick the big button items for parents.
Correct.
Because sometimes it's hard to find things, or we find the old things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a problem finding the
Yeah.
old things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that portion, they assured us, will be.
That's gonna
erased
go
in
away.
regards to that.
all the old stuff will go away.
Okay. Any more questions?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the website platform upgrade and give them permission to move forward with this.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the website platform upgrade. All of those in favor, use the usual sign. Aye. Hearing no nays. Are there any nays? Hearing none. It's approved.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Sounds real
You
good.
know what? It's exciting. Some field trips.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have 3 trips today. The first one is our FBLA Learn to Lead. It's for our chapter officers, our president and vice president. They're going to attend the annual training with their advisors for chapter management and leadership development. The conference takes place at the Founders Inn in Virginia Beach, and it is overnight, is the 25th and 26th. So that is why we are here before you today asking for approval. The cost per child is $94, and they will be taking a county vehicle.
We have male
Madam-
and female sponsors going.
I think it's actually just two females.
Two people.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the FBLA Learn to Lead Conference.
Second.
It has been moved and second that we approve the DHS field trip FBLA Learn to Lead Conference. All of those in favor, let's use the usual sign.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Hearing none, it's approved.
All right, our second one is our marching band. Mr. Norton would like to take the band out of state to the Capital City Band Expo in Raleigh, North Carolina. The Band Expo is a marching band competition where students would get the opportunity to perform and compete and observe some of the top bands in the region. Mr. Norton, coming from North Carolina, has been to this program before and says it is a top-notch program and event. The registration fee is going to be paid out of the high school account. He would take one bus and the box truck, and this is on October 25th, Saturday. He would have 6 adults with him, the normal band, and all the students.
I move that we accept the marching band Capital City Expo.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we approve the field trip marching band to Capital City Band Expo. All of those in favor, use the usual sign. Aye. Are there any opposed? Hearing none, it's approved.
All right, the last one we have is Sports Business and Marketing Day with the Washington Commanders. This is for 4 advisors and 45 students, Wednesday, October 22nd. They're going to leave at about 6 a.m. on a charter bus and return at 6. This allows them the opportunity to work directly with a professional NFL team to apply business and marketing techniques and strategies. This also comes with, once you register, I believe, Gravely was correct, they get tickets to a upcoming game. They're actually giving them Eagles tickets. I couldn't believe it was the Eagles-Redskins game that they're going to, but
Pastor Walker might want to be one of your chaperones.
Eagles fans are nasty.
All right, you better stop.
Fun fact, I played football with the Eagles head coach. So this would be $100 per student. They are raising funds within the DECA club, so to offset some of it, but that cost is purely for the charter bus. And the charter bus is needed because we need to leave at 6 without making 4 or 5 late buses per day.
That's wonderful.
So are they going to Northwest Stadium?
Stadium,
That's
yes.
where they're going? Cool.
Good for them.
I move that we approve this trip.
Second.
Yes, we move this second that we approve the Sports Business and Marketing Day trip at the Washington Commanders. All those in favor, use the usual sign.
Aye.
Any nays? It's approved.
Thank
you. And thank you, board members, for allowing this trip. I think we should not deny this. This is quite an experience.
It's a great
I don't know if we're gonna let Mr. Walker go.
Oh, no, he might have to go too.
I may sneak up there.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to watch him. We'll send somebody to watch on the corner.
That's right.
Mr. Gons.
Greetings to our board chair, to all board members, to Dr. Weston, to our student representatives, and to all here. It is my honor to present the proclamation of September 2025 as Attendance Awareness Month. Now, this proclamation is extensive, so I may highlight some areas, but what I would like for you to do is really take heed to the words and let them mean more than words on paper, because this is truly an effort that will take all of us. Whereas chronic absence may be the single biggest barrier to improving education in our country, making good attendance crucial to nurturing an educated and healthy next generation with the skills needed for a strong economy. Whereas students and families are more likely to show up and engage when there are positive conditions for learning at school, including physical and emotional health and safety, a sense of belonging, connection and support, academic challenges and engagement, and adults and peers with social emotional competency. Whereas reducing chronic absence Missing 10% or more of school for any reason requires a comprehensive approach that starts with prevention and early intervention, including developing routines and trusting relationships that create a sense of belonging rather than responding with punitive action, which research finds is not particularly effective. Whereas improving attendance and engagement takes schools, families, elected leaders, and other community partners working together to rebuild regular and trusting communications and to identify and address barriers to being in school. Whereas taking attendance daily in a caring, consistent manner is essential to identifying when students begin to miss too much school, and for noticing as soon as possible when students are starting to miss too much school, and engaging students and families with needed support and resources. Whereas supporting the health and well-being of school community and sending the message that students should avoid missing school for minor symptoms of illness is essential to reestablishing daily attendance routines. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Dinwiddie County Public School System stands with the nation in addressing the factors that cause students to miss school in order to ensure all children an opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive academically, emotionally, and socially. We recognize that we must work together to build an engaging school environment that motivates attendance and sends a message that learning matters. Adopted by the School Board of Dinwiddie County Public Schools on this day, the 9th day of September 2025. And if you all will allow me to, I would like to add that I would first, before I add anything, I want to thank all of the principals and teachers and staff members and school board members who have really worked hard on our theme for the year 10 to Win. We have had a school attendance video that's being developed or put together by schools, and then we're going to have a winner, and students have been excited about that. We also have a weekly attendance watch where Midway, I believe, was the elementary winner for this particular passing week, and I think the middle school was the secondary winner. And at the end, we're going to pick the overall winner, and the school will win something that the entire school can use. Yes, Dr. Walker, I heard you. Also, we wanted to have motivational videos from staff members and even students. I want to thank even Miss Adams. I don't want to put her on the spot. Yesterday, she was sitting with a student and outside after school, and we were able to have that young man do a video with us. So that was very exciting. It was unexpected, but he did a great job. Perfect attendance winners. We are going to award through a drawing the top 3 perfect attendance winners, and we have some prizes for those students. And we also have attendance banners that were ordered actually by Ms. Powell, and we were able to get them to all schools this year. But I also want to say this in closing. We're going to continue this because it can't be just about September. So I'm asking every person here to help us with that. And we want to make sure that we tie attendance to academics. So it's going to get a little bit more serious, but the message will go out that we need to definitely tie attendance to academics. So we will be working and send the message out about that. So thank you all.
Thank you.
And did you want to adopt, you want the board to adopt that, right? You want them to take action on that?
They do have
You need to vote.
So I didn't know that, Dr.
Yes,
West,
that's
because
okay.
they told me something different. I was
It's
so
okay.
proud of the proclamation. So at this
You've done
time,
such a
I am
great job.
asking that you all adopt this proclamation, this
Madam
attendance
Chair,
proclamation.
I move that we adopt the proclamation for September 2025 as Attendance Awareness Month.
It is removed and second that we adopt the September 2025 the proclamation as Attendance Awareness Month. All those in favor use the usual sign.
Aye.
Are there any nays? Hearing none, it is approved. And thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Garnes, I've seen several of the videos already posted on Facebook. It really is, it's quite nice.
Yes,
Thank
hit the
you.
ground
Thank
running.
you. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Madam Secretary, are there any new business?
There is no new business, Madam
No
Chair.
new business on superintendent matters?
The first one we have is the enrollment update. Christy Fleming.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
As we built our budget for FY26, we built it on 3,975 students, which, we had reduced that at quite a considerable amount of students at that time, 125. So as of yesterday, we had 3,948 students enrolled, which is about 27 students less than what we built our budget on. As far as revenue goes, that equates to $273,328 in state revenue. So we will definitely be able to cover that with our current vacancies at this point in time. We still strive to try and hope this number increases as the school year goes on, and as we start building the FY27 budget, we'll talk about what that looks like as well. We are going to be able to provide more detailed information about enrollment and kind of a history and where we are at our board advance later this month. So we will have more information there, but it could be worse. So we're good. The first couple of days were looking kind of bleak there, but it did come around a little bit. So I'll be glad to entertain any questions that you may have at this time. Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good evening.
Thank you.
The second thing we have is Carly Wolf is going to come forward and talk to us about accelerated mathematics pathways regulations.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Recently, you reviewed and were able to approve the policy as it pertains to the accelerated mathematics pathways for Downey County Public Schools. But it's very short, and it doesn't give you all of the how we're going to go about with that. The state gave us the upper quartile ranges for students enrolled in grades 5 through 8. And so they have already received a parent notification for the students this fall. And thankfully for us, we already kind of had a system in place. So there were very few students who weren't already scheduled in an accelerated pathway. I think there was only 2 students in the 8th grade that moved into an accelerated path, and only a handful of 6th graders going into 7th grade math that we had to transition. Those students that are accelerated are going to be supported by Ms. Murray to close any gaps that they may have missed from not being previously enrolled in an accelerated pathway. And then of course our 5th grade students will come in and get their letter in their spring as soon as we have our SOL results. So this kind of goes through the details of multiple entry points into an accelerated pathway based on the cut score. So you can see, believe it or not, the upper quartile for grades 6, 7, and 8 were a little bit lower than I was expecting. And that's why we had a few students that maybe not were automatically enrolled previously, because we look at more of historical data, not just 1 year in solidarity. So there is the cut scores that we received from the state. The parent, annual notification of parent will occur from this point forward each spring for students and guardians of students in grades 5 through 8 with information on eligibility criteria and the automatic enrollment provisions. The students will, if they're not automatically chosen, there is in the parent letter, it lets them know that they can also request with consideration from other division assessments, the student's interest, the teacher recommendation, and classroom performance. And so I provided to the parent, as well as what you would see in the regulations, some samples of how a student would progress in grades 5 through 8 and have the opportunity for Algebra 1 and beyond at the middle school level. They do have an opt-out form. So if a student is selected for automatic enrollment and the parent does not wish for their student to be accelerated, they can opt out of having their student in that accelerated pathway, and that the request is that they notify in writing within the first 5 days of the start of school so that the student could be placed in a non-accelerated pathway. So are there any questions I can answer for you based on the regulations surrounding the policy adopted?
Is the background goal for this to have students to advance to have more students end up taking perhaps calculus or that sort of
Correct.
thing? Or is it just, I mean, is that what the state is looking for?
That is what I included in the purpose there. The policy is trying to accelerate students for advanced coursework so that they are taking more rigorous math. It also suggested that we look at what high school requirements are put in place to make sure that students are engaging in mathematics all throughout high school, an opportunity to participate in advanced mathematics like calculus and such. I do feel that we have a very robust mathematics offering at our high school. What I would want to see is students not settling for the bare minimum for graduation requirements and really pushing themselves so that they're prepared for careers in engineering or things of that nature that would require upper level mathematics.
And that's one of the concerns that I've had for years about having them start early. Certainly, we want them to be challenged, but I've seen over the years that students will get the high school requirements or get accepted to someplace and then not go on in their senior year to the advanced math.
And at
you
one
can't
point,
make them, but I'm just saying.
correct. And the whole point of the math capstone class was to try to make sure that our students had the foundational pieces so that they weren't in a remedial math. But we do offer quite a bit of upper level mathematics.
Elective type.
That they would be able to take. It's just a matter of having the confidence and the skill set to do so.
Thank you.
So I don't think we have to have a vote on this, but I
No,
would be
we
happy
do
to answer
not.
any other questions that you have.
Any more questions for Ms. Wolfo?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carly.
Madam Secretary, are there any citizens' comments?
No one has signed up to speak tonight, Madam Chair.
No citizens' Board member comments? Mr. Brown?
I'm starting to listen.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to Mr. Walker and welcome back. I think you're the only person that we mentioned earlier that's still here.
Yes.
And welcome back to Dinwiddie. And I think, everyone else left. I think you're good.
I'd like to congratulate the artist who won that they've left, but I always appreciate the fact that there's so many different avenues that students can show their talents in, and we had one who sang and two who draw, and they may also be high math students, but if we engage in many of the different disciplines, it's great that we can recognize across the board. And congratulations to our newest board member, Ms. Green.
I'll say something. I'm excited to have Mr. Walker back. Years ago, I read Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. If you're familiar with that book, it's a pretty well-known book. In the book, he highlights the difference between good companies and great companies. And one of the things that stood out to me in that book was that he found that great companies hired from within, whereas good companies hired big names from the outside. And I love it when we hire people from Dinwiddie to come back, because I think that's what makes Dinwiddie great. And so, of course, I've known Mr. Walker. I have to make myself say Mr. Walker since we were young boys playing ball back in our midway days. So I love having Mr. Walker back here. I'm excited about that. So.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and to compliment our school administrators, the teachers, and the student body. There is nothing greater than going into a school board meeting and hearing no student matters. So thank you for a job well done.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Ditto to everything that was said. I'm just so proud to see you, see the students, and all the great work that you're doing. And I was looking at you too, Mr. Gaunt, and I saw the winning popped up. So I was happy, and I said, well, there we are. So, and I like that. So, are we going to do the students?
Yes.
Jake?
It's great to see everyone. Looking forward to another great year with everyone in the room. Just to touch on one thing that I thought was important was the attendance Mr. Goins was discussing. I think that what Miss Bailey has brought about us competing with the middle school and certain grades. Everyone wants to win, so I think that that's a great thing to do, competing for the highest percentage. So I think that's definitely increased attendance, and I think it's going to be beneficial in the future.
Great.
I just want to start by saying I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really appreciative of the opportunity that's been given to me. And I do have a couple of like comments to say on like the parent square. I think it's really, really, really smart, and it keeps the parents and everybody in like full circle about news and great communication in various ways. And I don't know, in the grading system, like everything is just right there in an easy, user-friendly website. And the cardiac emergency response, I think that is a really nice way to like keep people educated on like medical emergencies that happen every day around the world, and it's great that Dinwiddie is a part of it.
I would just like to say we've had it's hard to believe it's the 4th week of school. I know, it's going by so quickly. We've had a very successful opening, and I just would be amiss if I didn't acknowledge teachers, things that are happening in our classrooms. And I just thank you, leaders of the buildings and the things that you're doing in your schools. It has been a truly successful school opening, and that is about the leadership in this room. And for those of you that are in new positions, you've hit the ground running, and we're already seeing some really nice things out of your department. So we're very excited about that as well. It's going to be a great school year. Last 2 things. This week we're in the process of writing new strategic plan. So tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, we'll be at Sutherland Elementary School with the community. We ask everyone to come out and lend your voice to that. And then on Thursday, we will be at Dinwiddie High School at 6 o'clock with district management group as well. So if you have an opportunity to come out and lend your voice to our strategic plan, we welcome that. Thank you.
Thank you. So I guess we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam Chair, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We be adjourned. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you and have a great week.